Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 26th of May. So let's have a look at the possible risk events this morning, or today I should say. Well, we've seen the Japanese inflation data coming out. It's slightly less than expected at 3.2 versus 3.4. They've got no prospect of increasing interest rates on it, I think, anyway, so that makes very little difference in the whole scheme of things. UK retail sales came out slightly ahead of expectation this morning. Maybe in the inflationary pressure as opposed to spending more. Core, what we've got this afternoon in the core personal consumption expenditure. This is one of the key figures now that the Fed are looking at, so be wary of volatility around that at 130, and the other numbers are all durable goods, core durables, etc. They have lesser of an impact. Okay, that's really all we got there. It's not a great deal. I'm just going to have a flick over to speakers and to see what speakers we got. It's got a couple of ECB speakers this morning. They appear to be very close to one another, whether that's at an event is possible, and that's it. And just a reminder, as I see it here, we've got a bank holiday on Monday, so I won't be in the I won't be running a trading room on Monday, and I won't be doing a video on Monday on that basis. I don't trade on UK bank holidays. It's a bad habit. Right, let's have a look at the technicals, and starting off as ever with the euro dollar. And well, it's continued its downward direction. However, I'm starting to look at it. Perhaps it will carry on in the downward direction. Now I've seen it's on the underside of its weekly S1 there, just having a bit of a reaction to that. It's a bit of a mixed old bag here. I do wonder, when we've seen such a correction over the week, whether it'll catch a bit of a bounce. At the moment though, just looking, we've got that pivot over the top there holding it. Maybe a break of today's daily pivot. We'll see it continue down to S1. Yesterday was such a tight old day with it though. I mean, basically I didn't get the trade I'd like to, because it was just the risk reward just didn't sit at all, but it got down towards its S2 there, and that was pretty much it. So and that was the day. Very tight range, so need to tread carefully on that. As I say, potential if it breaks the pivot. Pound dollar, similar case here with the downside, solid downside there yesterday. I'd say yesterday through to including yesterday. Catching a bit of a bounce at the moment, so seeing a little bit more of a bounce. And again, well, it's above its pivot. However, a reversal of this could see us down to the S1. I'd quite like that if it occurs. We'll just see if it switches around post 8 o'clock. At the moment, it's, as I say, catching that little bit of a rally. It rallied through till about 10 o'clock yesterday before it fell away. Just may need to be a bit patient with this and see if it does the same today, if we get a continuation of that move. Dollar yen, largely still running to the upside here. It's running to all sorts of resistance points, yet it's pushed on through. Quite a steady move there, and well, it's into its pivot at the moment. Any sort of movement, I'd give it a little bit of space here, but any movement to the upside, it's got a reasonable target up to the R1 if it's going to run up there, but just judging the days, it might be a bit limited in terms of its upside, and maybe a trailing stop as opposed to the R1 as a target when it's like this. The market's just running out of oomph, even. Aussie dollar, well, as I said, it's broken the range that it had been sitting in the box, whatever you like to call it. It's broken through that. I was waiting for a little knock on the door there, a retest. We could get that. It's starting to bounce off its S3 here. The S3s are quite limiting on a weekly or any basis, really. So this might not do anything different. We'll see. But a move into that either today or next week. I'm really looking at it as a bit of a swing position, expect to hold it for a while. One thing to be a little aware of, just wait for it to be selling again, as opposed to just selling it because it's run into something. Wait for the signal to be back on the down path there, because otherwise we've seen quite a correction. I'm looking through a few of these markets this morning, seen quite a correction over the last few days, and not with hardly any retracements. Great if you're in it on a swing basis, not so good if you're looking to try and get into it. US dollar CAD, it remains quite a mess. I mean, it has broken out there. Shorter term frames, well, again, weekly R2, it's sort of sat into, finding some resistance. Bit ugly as it's sitting out. Again, it could be playing the reversal. Personally, I just keep clear of it. It's not a great one in the mornings, and Friday morning in particularly. New Zealand dollar, again, this isn't one that just could be waiting for the retrace into the lows there, playing the same sort of move as the Aussie. The sell-off over the last couple of days has been quite strong with it, obviously with the news, but I expected it to recover a little bit more than it has, but everything's been selling off, so it's struggled. But whether we'll see a continuation this morning, I'm just looking. We found support off the quarterly pivot yesterday in the end, or around about that area. Maybe it's just not worth it for me at the moment. Euro yen's chopping all over the place. It's getting into a bit of a mess. You see each of the days overlapping quite a lot of sort of reversals that are just sort of occurring. It's much more difficult to try and do too much with this, and certainly okay, it could be rolling back at the moment, but it's in this sort of high lows, high side, so I'll steer clear of that. Euro pound has gone into a chop as well. It's halfway between in the range again now. The range didn't run all the way down yesterday, but it's sitting in that sort of rangy area. Could just come back down to these near-term lows. The euro pairings, Euro Aussie, just rolling over a little bit here at the moment. Now this could change this morning. We'll see how things develop. It's almost hit the R1 there. It's taken the probability away from me a little bit. Once it's hit something, chance of it coming back are just slightly less. And the Euro CAD the same, got into quite a mess. It was looking quite nice yesterday, was selling off quite well within it. So again, it's a bit of a range bound pairing. It just come out a little bit. There you go, see the channel that it was sitting in, but eventually just bounced and broke through that yesterday, but currently selling through it, through the opposite way back into the range. But it's done enough to keep me away from it at the moment. Just don't like it. It could, well, technically and statistically it could be running down towards its pivot here, but it's barely got any profitability in it. Pound Aussie, well, and the pound CAD are just the waste of time, and pound yen all sitting there, nothing actually happening there. Aussie CAD, another one that's been running down really nicely. Again, it's got the sort of bear flag that's sitting there at the moment. It's got potential to roll over, and again it's got support off its quarterly pivot, so the quarterly pivot's coming into play at the moment there. This is a bit of a chop, the Aussie yen. Aussie New Zealand is the other one I do like to have a look at times. I'm still waiting for it to break down, so that's not going to happen. Right, a thin morning at the moment, but things quite often change quite quickly post 8 o'clock. We might get something setting up, so all is not lost yet. Let's have a look at gold. So gold really largely yesterday we continued, broke the prior lows there, a little consolidation phase it had run through, broke those. Looks like it's heading back to its quarterly pivot. Now it's catching a bit of a bounce at the moment, but it's quite a minor bounce in the bigger scheme of things. Lower highs, lower lows really sitting through there. and you see there's a little bit of a bounce at the moment. Again, this is another one that if we get the reversal post 8 o'clock on all of these, if they haven't already hit the R1, there's scope for the S1, and that certainly could tie up nicely with the, I mean, the quarterly pivot that sits below there. Oh, sorry, yeah, quarterly. Yeah, it's quarterly pivot. Here's the quarterly pivot. He says, running back to it quickly. Yeah, back to the quarterly pivot. So there is some scope for that. Oh, it's right there. Okay, that's gold. Oil. Let's just go and have a look. Pickings of the day. I've taken Brent this morning. Similar pitch though. Yes, they ended up coming off there. It's in the whole scheme of things, we've got a big bear flag here, but whether that will break down is another matter. Within that bear flag is sort of this horrible structure. I don't know, maybe if we see the break of the lows from the trend line that sort of sits there, could be an opportunity to see it run. Not the keenest on a Friday and looking at that, so we'll see, but it's certainly shaping up that way at the moment. Looking at the indices, the CSI 300, well, it's just getting the dailies on this, will be good. There we go. So he's putting a little tweezers set of tweezers at the bottom there, double bottom into its quarterly S1. May bounce, but I'm still bearish on the market, so I wouldn't be looking for the long side. The Nikkei, well, it's still bullish to me, but it just looks like it had a bit of a, it's just not holding on now, so maybe at some point this is going to roll back and correct a little bit more. A break of those near-term lows there would probably, that would give us the heads up for, even for a small wave 3 to come down there. Nifty 50, bit rangy, but doing okay. It's still open at the moment, still running, but yesterday nice reversal there, and looking like it wants to push some more yet. S&Ps, it's a mess, basically just running through there, still looking in messy terms. The Dow catching a little bounce off its crikey, is that the S3? I have got the daily S3, goodness. It's such a tight old range, but it's down into S3 pivot. There's nothing stopping this month actually running through that, because the pivots, you see how tight, pinched they are. Yeah, still looking soft to me. I wouldn't be looking to buy it. The Nasdaq's been the star of the game, and it's continuing to stretch its legs. That's up to its R3, so again a bit of resistance where it sits for the week at least. And nothing, I've not seen anything written about the debt ceiling being sorted out yet. Right, just got to change markets here and come back to that. Let's scroll down. I've got the wrong the wrong DAX. Got the old DAX 30, don't know why. Anyway, now's the DAX 40. So I continued down yesterday, stayed pretty lowish. Are we going to get a bounce today? I don't know. Where it's sitting at the moment, it's sort of sitting around a low, and you just wonder if it's going to roll off some more. Messy old day yesterday again, so we had, it's not just the Forex markets that were choppy and quite ugly. I mean, the euro was obviously very tight range, and well, this wasn't much better. So again, tight at the moment. Possible R1 the way it's sitting there at the moment, and maybe beyond, because of the pivots are so pinched. So some scope there. Not easy. Crypto. Quick look then at Bitcoin. So let's get in a bit of a drift to the downside. That we're looking at it was sitting there quite chopped on the sideward price action, but I don't know, it just looks a little bit on the weaker side to me. But yeah, okay, it's still kicking around plus 25, 26 area, but just looking not so good whilst it's doing what it is. The stronger dollar probably not helping the matter. Ethereum, again, consolidation. At least they're not selling off majorly, I suppose. The Bitcoin just looks a little bit softer. Chain link, lower highs coming through this. This does look like the softer one of the bundle. It's already through its S1. Around the S1. It's not caught the monthly pivot. It could just toodle over a little bit more. Litecoin, let's just a quick look at that. It's a little bit more choppy. It's not necessarily better, but it's choppy. And Ripple, let's a quick look at Ripple. Okay, lower highs, lower lows. Not a great deal going on there at the moment either. So same old situation through there. Choppy old markets around the world at the moment. So there you go. I wish you a great day's trading. If you find something to come out of these, I can't see anything immediately, but we'll see what develops this morning. Anyway, wish you a great day on the YouTube there. Catch you tomorrow. Bye for now. I won't catch you tomorrow. I'll catch you on Monday, Tuesday. Starting to sing a song then.